Welcome to Praise Shop, your channel for Christian videos. Today I will be sharing an introductory message on the book of Philippians. Philippians is a book in the New Testament of the Christian Bible. It is a letter written by Paul, the apostle, to the church in Philippi, a city located in Macedonia. The letter is filled with joy and thanksgiving and is known for its focus on the theme of joy. It is a short letter, consisting of only 4 chapters, but it contains a wealth of knowledge and encouragement for believers today. In this video, we will explore the book of Philippians in more detail, examining its historical context, themes, and relevance for contemporary Christians. The city of Philippi was named after Philip II of Macedon, the father of Alexander the Great. It was a major city in the Roman Empire and a center for trade and commerce. Paul first visited Philippi on his second missionary journey, around AD 49. During his visit, he preached the gospel and founded a church in the city. The church in Philippi was composed primarily of Gentiles, and Paul maintained a close relationship with them. The letter to the Philippians was written while Paul was imprisoned, most likely in Rome. Paul had been arrested for preaching the gospel and was awaiting trial before the emperor. Despite his circumstances, Paul was filled with joy and thanksgiving, and he wrote this letter to encourage the believers in Philippi. The book of Philippians is known for its emphasis on joy. The word joy appears 16 times in the letter, making it one of the most joyful books in the Bible. Paul's joy was not dependent on his circumstances but rather on his relationship with Christ. He wrote, "I have learned in whatever situation I am to be content. I know how to be brought low, and I know how to abound. In any and every circumstance, I have learned the secret of facing plenty and hunger, abundance and need. I can do all things through him who strengthens me." Philippians 4:11-13. Another important theme in Philippians is unity. Paul encouraged the believers in Philippi to complete my joy by being of the same mind, having the same love, being in full accord and of one mind. Philippians 2:2. He urged them to put aside their differences and to work together for the sake of the gospel. He wrote, "Do nothing from rivalry or conceit, but in humility count others more significant than yourselves. Let each of you look not only to his own interests but also to the interests of others." Philippians 2:3-4. Paul also emphasized the importance of humility. He wrote, "Do nothing from selfish ambition or conceit, but in humility count others more significant than yourselves. Let each of you look not only to his own interests, but also to the interests of others." Philippians 2:3-4. Paul himself was a model of humility, and he wrote, "Have this mind among yourselves, which is yours in Christ Jesus, who, though he was in the form of God, did not count equality with God a thing to be grasped, but emptied himself, by taking the form of a servant, being born in the likeness of men." Philippians 2:5-7. The book of Philippians is just as relevant for contemporary Christians as it was for the believers in Philippi. The theme of joy is especially important in today's world, where many people are struggling with depression, anxiety, and other mental health issues. Paul's joy was not dependent on his circumstances but on his relationship with Christ, and this is a message that is desperately needed today. The theme of unity is also relevant for contemporary Christians today. Dear brothers and sisters in Christ, I want to share with you a message of encouragement from the book of Philippians. This book was written by the Apostle Paul to the believers in Philippi, a city in Macedonia. Despite being imprisoned and facing uncertain circumstances, Paul wrote this letter filled with joy, gratitude, and encouragement for the believers in Philippi. As we read through Philippians, we see that Paul's joy was not dependent on his circumstances but on his relationship with Christ. He wrote, "Rejoice in the Lord always. I will say it again. Rejoice." Philippians 4:4 NIV. Paul knew that true joy could only be found in Christ and that no matter what he faced, he could trust in God's goodness and faithfulness. This message of joy is still relevant for us today. In a world filled with trials and difficulties, we can find joy in our relationship with Christ. We can choose to focus on the blessings that God has given us and trust that He will provide for our needs. When we face trials and difficulties, we can turn to God for strength and comfort, knowing that He is always with us. Paul also emphasized the importance of unity in the church. He urged the believers in Philippi to be of the same mind, to have the same love, and to be in full accord and of one mind. Philippians 2:2 NIV. Today, we too must strive for unity in the church. We must put aside our differences and work together for the sake of the gospel. We must love one another as Christ loved us and seek to build each other up in the faith. Finally, Paul emphasized the importance of humility. He wrote, "Do nothing out of selfish ambition or vain conceit. Rather, in humility value others above yourselves, not looking to your own interests but each of you to the interests of the others." Philippians 2:3-4 NIV. Today, we too must strive for humility in our lives. We must put aside our own desires and seek to serve others, just as Christ served us. We must be willing to humble ourselves and put the needs of others before our own. In conclusion, the message of Philippians is a message of joy, unity, and humility. As we read through this book, let us be encouraged to find joy in our relationship with Christ, to strive for unity in the church, and to seek humility in our lives. Let us trust in God's goodness and faithfulness, knowing that He is with us always. May God bless you and keep you always. Thanks for watching my video. I hope you have been blessed and learned something. Have a great day, and until next time. God bless.